After he had taken the Monkey Kingdom, Sun Wukong was constantly restless because he could not stop thinking about the impermanence of life and the inevitability of death. This realization awakened in him an intense longing for immortality. He set out to overcome the limits of mortal existence. Wukong saw the quest for immortality to protect himself and his kingdom from the harsh forces of time. He recognized that the journey would be strenuous and fraught with unthinkable challenges, but his will was unwavering. Armed with fierce determination, Wukong set out on the most important journey of his life, where he would defy the very limits of the realm of possibility and the known in search of eternity. Sun Wukong set out to explore unknown lands, mystical mountains, and ancient forests, each site offering unique lessons. During his journey, he met wise hermits, learned from the natural elements, and watched the stars to understand the mysteries of the cosmos. With each step he learned, each experience was a gateway to a deeper understanding of life and the universe. Wukong sought not only the wisdom to reach immortality, but also a deeper understanding of himself and the world around him. Throughout his journey, Sun Wukong met several spiritual cultivators, people devoted to the art of improving the soul and mind through ancient practices. These encounters showed him various techniques of meditation, alchemy, and spiritual disciplines. The Monkey King was particularly moved by the peacefulness of the death of these cultivators, living in harmony with the universe. He learned from them the importance of internal balance and continuous spiritual development. With their skills and knowledge, these spiritual masters played a crucial role in Wukong's development into a spiritually evolved being. Upon meeting Subuti, a renowned Taoist master, Sun Wukong saw him as the ideal guide to achieving immortality, but Subuti refused to accept him as a disciple. He questioned Wukong's commitment and ability to follow the strict and disciplined Tao path. Subuti noticed that the Monkey King had an untamed and impulsive spirit, traits which, in his view, were at odds with Taoism's profound teachings. Defied by this rejection, Sun Wukong did not give up. He decided to remain close to Subuti, proving through his actions and persistence in his dedication to learning. Wukong embraced a humble and patient attitude, practicing meditation and Taoist doctrines on his own, revealing his determination and will to evolve. His dedication impressed Subuti, who eventually recognized Wukong's potential and honesty, taking him on as a disciple. With Subuti's guidance, Sun Wukong delved into Taoism, absorbing its principles and practices. He studied the balance of yin-yang, or yin and yang, the significance of emptiness, and the connection between microcosm and the macrocosm. Wukong applied these teachings passionately, seeking to bring himself into harmony with the Tao, the universe's fundamental force. Through years of diligent practice, Sun Wukong mastered the 72 transformations, which allowed him to take on any form, from animals and insects to natural elements. This mastery provided the Monkey King with the versatility and ability to escape or face any situation. He also perfected the Jin Dou Yun ability, or Jin Dou Yun, the golden cloud that allowed him to travel great distances in a flash. Together with these skills, Wukong finally achieved the longed-for immortality. Using a combination of spiritual practices, Taoist alchemy, and rigid discipline, he transcended mortal limits. Wukong had become immune to all diseases and poisons, and his physical body was impervious to ordinary damage. The Monkey King had achieved his victory over death. Being immortal brought a new perspective to Sun Wukong. He came to see life and the universe in a broader way, comprehending the interconnectedness of all beings and the importance of harmony and balance. The Monkey King, Sun Wukong, finally returned to the Flowers and Fruit Mountain after a years-long absence in his quest for immortality, bringing with him a wide range of supernatural knowledge and skills. His comeback was greeted with boundless joy and admiration by his simian subjects, who accepted him back as their much-loved and respected leader. Wukong used his new knowledge and powers to fortify and improve his kingdom. He applied innovative cultivation techniques, taught the apes more effective methods of harvesting food, and established more complex defense systems against his people's enemies. He also promoted education and spiritual development among his people, encouraging them to seek balance and harmony with nature. The monkeys started to live in peace and prosperity, enjoying their immortal king's wisdom and protection. The flowers in Fruit Mountain became a refuge of happiness and knowledge, but the Monkey King was ambitious and knew that a king would need a weapon that matched his power. So, he set off in search of the Jinggu Bang, a magical staff of immense strength. It was an indestructible piece of heavenly material. However, it was located deep within the Dragon King's realm. But no obstacle was beyond reach for the strong-willed Monkey King, who traveled to the bottom of the ocean to find the weapon hidden in the Dragon Palace of the East Sea. He decided to own the magic staff, not only as a means of increasing his personal glory, but also to use it to protect his kingdom and uphold order. When he arrived at the Dragon Palace, Sun Wukong was presented with a monumental challenge. It was an underwater fortress protected by powerful creatures and magical incantations. Inside the palace, Sun Wukong asked the Dragon King for Jinggu Bang. He had no intention of handing over the artifact, but attempted to discourage Wukong, who seemed very adamant, by offering him other magnificent weapons and relics. However, Wukong was not persuaded by the Dragon King and refused his offer. Underestimating the Monkey King's abilities, the Dragon King took Wukong to the place where the Jinggu Bang was kept. The staff looked like a gigantic metal pillar that was supporting the ocean. Removing the pillar from its position seemed an impossible task, but when Wukong approached it, the staff began to glow, showing that it recognized Wukong as its master. Sun Wukong easily pulled the Jinggu Bang over his head, astonishing the Dragon King and his underwater court. Showing his supreme control over the weapon, the Monkey King shrunk it to the size of a needle and tucked it behind his ear. The Dragon King ordered his subjects to capture him. However, with his numerous skills and magnificent astuteness, Wukong fought off and defeated the Dragon King's countless warriors. The Monkey King now had a weapon to match his extraordinary abilities. Yet, by defeating the Dragon King's hordes, Wukong drew the attention of the heavenly gods to himself. They came to see him as a possible threat to the entire established order, and something had to be done to contain him. After getting the Jinggu Bang staff, the Monkey King, Sun Wukong, made a name for himself not only in the earthly realm, but also among the heavenly gods. But his growing power and influence were causing discomfort in the celestial courts. Worried about Wukong's power and independence, the gods decided that they needed to curb this seemingly untamed individual. Under the leadership of the Jade Emperor, the gods offered the Monkey King an honorary position, but this title was only granted to him to subdue Wukong. In heaven, he was given the title of Protector of the Horses, a rank that Wukong soon learned to be meaningless. Having been insulted and belittled, Wukong rebelled, declaring himself Great Sage, Heaven's equal. This affront triggered a turmoil in the heavens, and the Jade Emperor summoned a celestial army to capture Wukong. The battle between the Monkey King and the heavenly forces was nothing short of breathtaking. With the Jinggu Bang, Wukong fought with a ferocity and skill that astonished the gods. None of the heavenly warriors, not even the most powerful, could subdue him. Noticing that they could not defeat him by force, the heavenly gods turned to ingenuity. Lao Tzu, the great sage and founder of Taoism, devised a plan to capture Wukong. While the Monkey King was fighting, he asked for Buddha's help to arrest him. Inebriated by the battle, Wukong was drawn to the pillar. Believing he was another challenger, Wukong went over and touched it. As soon as he did, the pillar turned into a gigantic mountain, and Buddha pressed it firmly down on the Monkey King. He explained to Wukong that the mountain was his transfigured hand, and that the Monkey King was now trapped under the five-element mountain, a spiritual seal that neutralized his power. Realizing the pointlessness of his resistance, Wukong surrendered himself. Under the mountain, Sun Wukong was forced to reflect on his actions and the arrogant path he had taken to get himself into that situation. Years passed, and the world moved on. But the Monkey King's legend, the fearless warrior who challenged the heavens, spread throughout the world. Meanwhile, on the Flowers and Fruit Hill, the monkeys longed for their king. They told stories of his adventures and hoped for his return. The legend of Wukong inspired many to see courage and strength in challenging times. His legacy, while tainted by rebellion, was a symbol of resilience and defiance of authority. But this is not how the story of the mighty Monkey King ends. Years later, Wukong's tale would take a new turn. He would be freed on the condition that he served the monk Tang Sanzang on his mission, and this epic adventure would become known as the Journey to the West.